Hello.
Oh.
Go for it, Adam.
Okay, guys, welcome again. Davin, Dave, how many weeks has it been? Way too many.
Too many.
Came back. And Davin, thank you for reaching out. I was actually thinking of
double-digit weeks, I dare say.
It's got to be 3 months since we were last on together. So every time we do this, I go, we got to do this more often, and then more time passes. So anyway, happy to be back.
Life stubbornly crashes in on us.
Yes.
More gray seeps in. Look at us. Look at us. I mean, you're still handsome.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Look at this.
I love your shirt there tonight. Looks good.
Oh, thank you.
The
Miserable and the Whale.
I like it, and for our viewers and listeners out there, you'll see why as we progress through this. What enterprise is that on your shirt there?
Looks like a constellation class.
She be.
Oh, it is. Okay, yep, can see it now.
No bloody A, B, C, or D.
I love that.
Does she have the A? Nope. No bloody A even.
No, nacelles tell you it's not the A.
Yeah, it's true. They're out there, aren't they? They were quite thin.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you guys being this fall?
Got the job done.
Spring. How are you being this spring? We were just talking about the weather. Of
we're
course.
Not skipping summer, Adam. Don't bring fall into this.
Oh my goodness.
No, didn't mean to. How's it been out there? Life is good.
Busy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a season of calamity on my end, but we're coming through it.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, true enough.
Yeah, we had major illness in the family, but we're all on the mend now.
Oh dear. Okay, well, I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And how are you?
I had a bit of a thing too.
Yeah.
But things are fine now, so it's all good.
Good.
So
we're a wreck, aren't we, boys?
No, we're heading to summer. Summer in Canada is beautiful, and we're gonna enjoy it.
Summer in Canada is pretty great.
Yeah.
This is a beautiful time of year to be here.
Yeah.
All right. We have a very big, I think, some great topics tonight. And for our listeners and viewers out there, how do we come to the probe? How do we get to Class O probes? Davin, we were talking one night after debating, and I said that I'd like to talk about these things. They go too quick. And
after you did this during the show.
Oh yeah, it's probably. Yeah, this is just too fast for me. I don't get time to formulate an argument. It's over, and I want to talk more.
Yeah.
So
and you were right, and that's why you're the host of this show.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So, but you never know.
Your name?
Pardon me? Oh yeah, thanks.
You're handsome.
Still handsome.
I was gonna write ravishing, but I thought that might be.
Oh yeah, let's stop that.
All right. See,
okay.
The ravish turns people off. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
So I have decided the order, Davin.
We'll bet another night.
All right. What's the order?
What was that?
I've decided the order. We're going counterclockwise with Dave starting first. Over to you, and I'll finish up with mine tonight. Okay.
All right. Go. Oh wait. Let's launch these probes, fellas. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Let's go. You guys hear that probe?
Yes, we did.
I did.
All right, then she's official.
Get telemetry. Is Khan a better Ahab than Picard? So we're already giving away the title a little bit here with this question. And I was reminded, I may even have argued this question. I don't recall it at all, but I love it.
Yes, it's one I brought in, and you had to argue it against. I can't remember who.
Oh man,
but, yeah,
that'd be worth a trip.
You guys got into it, and I remember I was impressed that like this weird one I came up with bore so much fruit.
Oh, because I think it's a great question. Who moves themselves sort of into their own spiral of destruction more completely?
Can I throw a wacky prelude into this question?
Oh, do.
Who's the better Moby Dick? Kirk or the Borg Queen?
Oh man, I mean,
that's a serious question in relation to this probe, though. In a way,
are we really going to do that? But if we are, I'm going to say Kirk.
Yeah, he's a Moby or Dick.
Yeah, And you know why?
Here's how I would maybe perhaps define that. Moby Dick is a whale. Moby Dick didn't like maliciously come after this dude's leg or like anything like that. So like between the Borg Queen and Kirk, whose slight against Ahab here was the most unintentional?
I mean, I think that Kirk didn't know. I mean, he didn't really follow up. So I don't think he maliciously caused the anger and all that stuff that Khan felt.
This was Alpha 36.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
However, I will say
Five.
this, is that I think that Kirk does a better job antagonizing and pushing his buttons, along the way.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
once Moby Dick sees that boat coming, he turns in on it real quick.
Yeah.
And I guess you could argue like whatever intentionality exists within the Borg at all.
Well, sure.
As far as like any specific vendetta or anything.
Sure, but I think there you're
Like,
relying more
they
on the
didn't-
inscrutability of the Borg as compared to also the inscrutability of the whale in a certain sense, right?
Yeah.
But back to the Ahabs.
I'm not saying whales aren't smart enough to be intentional about shit like that, but like,
No, we
do I
just don't know what their intentions
do I
are.
think Moby Dick was like going after Ahab in that book? I read Moby Dick, and no, I don't. Later on, anyway,
Mhm.
but the initial
Yeah.
slight, I don't know. That was just like trains passing in the night, I think. But anyway, that's irrelevant to this question, kind of. I just thought that was interesting. I mean, I'm not sure who I think is the better Moby Dick, to be honest. Because I don't think like the Borg Queen was particularly like focused in on or malicious against Picard either. He was just like the one to fulfill that purpose in that moment, in that spot, kind of thing. Kind of like, ooh. I'm going to say Borg Queen's the best Moby Dick.
Well, fair enough. That's still not the question we're talking about, though.
No, but anyway, that was my little prelude. Anyway, I told you it was a wacky prelude. I prefaced.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, I think, and while you were saying that, though, you really made me think about what's at issue for me in the question, which is, you're right. Like, there is a kind of like lack of intention in the initial sort of interaction that causes a slight or whatever it is, an offense, a problem.
And then followed by insane intention.
But it turns into this question of like how that is received by Khan, or how that's received by Picard, and what they do with that, right? Because I mean, I think we could argue that Picard doesn't end up destroying himself in that pursuit.
He comes
Whereas Khan does.
We're getting into the question now, Dave. Want to?
Yeah. Prelude's over.
Yeah.
So, who do you think is the most obsessive of the two?
Khan.
In this revenge.
Khan.
I agree. It's probably
certainly Khan.
Yeah. I think that in this case, like, if you want to put them at like, Kirk being the whale, and he is one-minded. I need to sink or get to the the whale. It consumes everything about Khan through that story. Everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like Picard pulls back.
Yeah, it's not about getting his people off the planet. It's about killing Picard. I mean, killing Kirk, I should say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think of what Khan could have been if he just let it go, and that story, I mean, it would be actually kind of an
he was a monster way before that. Like that's
no, I know.
But
Can you imagine if they use that character in a greater way or in a different way than they did. Like he was always, poking at the Federation or
They could have done a redemption arc kind of thing with them if they felt like it. Would have been the more modern thing to do. Everyone gets redemption
Yeah.
these days.
I mean, like he could have been like a great long-term villain. Like, and I don't at that time, who knows? I mean, they were coming away from Starfleet or Star Trek: The Motion Picture wasn't that great, but this was like so good, like coming away from that movie. But did he need to finish it by dying? I mean, it set up a great storyline for the third one. I thought so.
Well, and it's interesting because those films end up being really self-contained, like the original series episodes are in the main, really self-contained, totally episodic material.
But Dave, don't you think though? Like Wrath of Khan moved into Search for Spock, which was related, and Voyage Home
kind of starts breaking that.
Those three were very tied in together.
Absolutely. Like they and I don't know if it's on the strength of having used the sort of conceit of Moby Dick as a model for this story that it gets these kind of narrative legs, or whether there was just so much that was, I guess, in terms of like there being so much coming out of it that we got all these threads we can pick up on and follow in various ways, yeah.
Like you think about the comparison to the two. So Khan takes his crew, destroys his crew, kills, like nobody's left, and that's very much what Ahab was going to do. He took it to the end. He cost him his own life in the book and in the movie. He wasn't prepared to see any reason, and it wasn't just an obsession. It was everything. Well, I guess what obsession is. But the other thing that I think, like, he played that role. So going back to the actor, he played that so well.
Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like,
it's a magnificent performance.
And I don't know what Montalban was doing in his life before Fantasy Island or anything, because that's all I knew him from. But man, that guy was a great actor.
I think he was a stage guy before that.
Oh, he had.
I think he'd done quite a lot of. Yeah, he has that kind of deal. Yeah. So, I think we're all pretty agreed then that Khan is a more sort of direct, more reasonable analog for Ahab. For me, the question comes up then: how and when does Picard depart from that? Because there's enough of it there that we can form the question, right? So, like, where does Picard escape from obsession, or does he just do something different with his obsession?
I don't think he has the obsession. I think sorry, Davin. You
go. Well, no, I just wanted to say this whole time because it just made me think when you said like the most direct comparison is Khan. I'm like, but in First Contact, Picard actually gets called on that direct comparison. So the more direct comparison might actually be Picard, because Lily actually calls him Ahab, like, because he's actually like going full Ahab in that moment. Like,
well, she clearly sees him as that.
Line must be drawn, like he's like, yeah, man.
But also,
sorry, go ahead, Adam.
What I was going to say is like where Khan had years and years of vengeance building and hatred building towards Kirk. I mean, arguably, so is Picard. However, but it is triggered by a trauma with Picard. Like, I mean, he seems very balanced. He's not going after the Borg when he doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
And the other thing
he's
is
taking advantage of the moment to get his revenge.
Yeah, and Lily was able to break through and give him that a moment of moral clarity, I guess, almost.
He broke his little ships.
Yeah.
And what I think the difference being here is that she was able to make Picard see, you can't take your crew down here because that's what you're doing. right? And
Whereas
they're all
Khan gave less shits about that.
Yeah, and even in the what is the Children of whatever it is episode in the original series, right off the bat,
Oh, Space
or
Seed.
Space Seed, that's what it is. Yeah, sorry, I was conflating it with something else. Khan is very much competing directly with Kirk for respect, for authority, for control of the ship, for
Machismo.
yeah, in every possible way, he's sort of competing with who he sees as the leader in this group.
They're all about who can show the most chest.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
then Khan comes out with like the supreme V-neck, like right down to the belly button, basically.
in Space Seed. He did.
I can show the most chest.
Yeah,
remember, like the red one had like
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man,
It was pretty. It was
there was the
pretty.
yellow one, there was the gold outfit, but then he had like the red one. Anyway.
But yeah, right. He's trying to sort of conquer. Yeah, he's like a weird kind of walking picture of like somebody who wants full spectrum dominance in their life. Right?
Yeah. Well, that's
And
what
it's
he
the
had
thing
on
he
Earth.
can't have with Kirk. And to add injury to that, he then gets sort of screwed when this planetary explosion wrecks the planet they're on.
Mm.
After it seems like he sort of won a concession. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing these images now. I had forgotten. Yeah, that's a pretty deep cut.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, you think you can out sexy me, Kirk? You cannot. You cannot.
I mean,
By hell's
been right in.
heart, I stab at thee.
You know what? I'd love to know though is like, how did the writers decide that this was one episode we want to bring back and loop in here? Like, this is like, that was pretty ballsy. I don't know the story behind that. I'd like to find it.
Yeah, that's interesting. It had been a while. It wasn't a particularly great episode. I mean, Ricardo Montalban is great, so like the idea of bringing him back makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think there was a
I don't know. They might have
change
just
of writers as well.
Yeah.
In and around the time the story was getting going, if I recall correctly. But
I'm just gonna look that up real quick here because
for sure.
like when you're looking at like when they were deciding, to bring back the show or the movie or whatever they were going to do, like the first episode, like the first movie was weak. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, especially with today's standards, but it was a long, drawn out movie. And as
It was
like
very 70s sci-fi for sure.
and as an 8-year-old kid, I remember being in the theater and like, this is so boring. When is this ending?
Mhm.
And I still feel the same way, by the way.
That's great.
No. Anyway, it was interesting.
Let's just directly compare these two more. We've kind of just been isolating them within their own storylines, but let's compare them Ahab style. So we've agreed that Khan's the most obsessive. What are some other Ahab qualities?
Well, I think we've highlighted that it leads into a kind of neglect of and then ultimately disregard for the safety or interests of those around it, right? It becomes this sort of monomaniacal
which Picard was about to do, which is very against his character, but he was definitely about to like kind of throw that to the wind.
Like, which again brings me back to the question of like, how does he not do that? What helps him? And I think his conversation with Lily in that moment is a huge part of that.
Oh yeah, like good thing Lily was in that room, man. Like it would have got bad for the Enterprise.
But he was in a pretty bad place.
As far as sustained Ahabness, I guess it's got to be Khan. He doesn't pull himself back. He's all in.
Yeah,
all in on the whale.
Well,
and then the whale gets all in on him.
Those qualities get picked up when we see augments depicted again in Enterprise, right? Is that sort of tendency to like very reactive, quick anger that turns to violence is one of those characteristics that they bring out over the course of those, what is it, 3-4 episodes the augments end up being in. Maybe it's less. Feels like
Three-parter. No, it's at least a 3-parter. Everything was in
Yeah.
that season.
Yeah.
That was a good one, man.
And so I yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to hear how this all happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there was 3 figures behind him coming back into Star Trek, being Khan. So Harvey Bennett, remember that name? Was the producer who was brought in to fix Star Trek, because after motion picture they were like, oh god, it didn't do what we wanted it to do, and we need to do something more. So he watched every episode of the original series apparently, and then after watching Space Seed, he said, "There's the villain. I want to talk to this guy." So I don't know how many years had passed since at this point, but he recognized that Khan was charismatic, unfinished in his mind, something more to do. He thought it was a personal. There was something personal to Kirk, and it was. He purchased Khan as the next villain in the next film. Now, the next guy you want to remember is Nicholas Meyer. Remember him?
Oh yeah.
So he
directed it.
Yeah, he didn't create the idea, but he supported it. He wrote the entire script in 12 days.
Whew.
Yeah.
Well,
he thought that the Moby Dick theme was pretty cool and could run with that. And once you take that story on, I think it can write itself, right? And when you have an actor like
pretty light, all things considered.
Yeah, but when you have Montalban and that in your mind, you're talking like he can deliver. I think it even worked even more. Now, the one person who didn't want this to happen, go figure, is Roddenberry. He didn't want Khan
back. What's his reasoning?
Known for his fantastic ideas.
He didn't want a revenge story, and he didn't want a militaristic tone.
Well, fair.
But he had lost creative control after.
But it was more of a personal story, that one.
Yeah, he had lost control over the motion picture, and the studio wanted Bennett and Meyer to take the reins and do it, and they won, and they nailed it. Yeah,
they sure did.
Just gonna check what the box office take was on that movie.
No, it must have done well.
I remember going to that as like how old would I be? 84 was that movie?
Something 13. Like that, yeah.
12?
I remember going as 10. 1-month-old lad.
I was 12. Okay.
Now, what do we think, fellas? It's Khan, right?
Oh, it's got to be Khan, I think.
We could talk for an hour about Khan.
Probably.
True.
All right, well, let's launch another.
To know him is to speak of him.
So in today's
to know him is to love him. To love him is to know him.
Yep.
To know him. Anyway, I can go on.
In today's dollars, that movie did about $300 million, which is a very solid.
Wow, that's pretty good.
We should destroy the probe.
Try that again. Hey, Worf, look.
Proper clearances.
Is Michael Eddington a great hero? Well, let me talk about Canada's favorite son, Michael Eddington. So, imagine yourself in the fringes of the galaxy. Hostile territory, even. The Cardassians about. Trying to grow tomatoes. You know how hard it is to grow tomatoes? Michael Eddington grew tomatoes.
Argument concluded.
Well, look. So, he was trying to do right by his people, man. Now, he was playing two sides. So there's that. But, he certainly wasn't the only one in Starfleet playing those two sides. That doesn't make it right, of course. But, the Maquis is just, it's very gray. It's hard to know how to come down on the Maquis because they're fighting for their lives at the same time, man. Like, yikes! What do you guys think of this one? I could go on about the great Michael Eddington.
Well, to my mind, the question of how we'd understand Eddington as a hero, because he's in a sort of rebellion, revolutionary kind of organization, I think takes on the question, well, has to take it on directly what you asked there, right? He uses both overt means of resistance, particularly once he's discovered, but also he uses covert and therefore highly illegal means of resistance. And there's a very interesting background of writing on this. I mean, Lenin writes extensively on it. Many people do. Ho Chi Minh, I think, wrote about this. The question of when it's reasonable for a resistance or a revolutionary organization to engage in illegal measures alongside legal measures, to engage in violence alongside nonviolent political activity. And Eddington really seems to have his principles in mind almost all the time. It's the thing that I find is really compelling about him as a character, right? He's got this sort of conceit about Les Miserables and Javert and all that stuff that's
where he starts to lose Cisco. You, right? You're kind of crazy with this Les Miserables thing. You got to chill out a little bit.
Like he really pushes that pretty hard.
You're just waiting to break out and sing "I'm Jean Valjean."
How did that not happen? How did that not happen? Like, it was right there. Anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that to me, the part of him that really is heroic, other than like the way he ends, which is pretty great. He's got a great death. Is that he does remains convicted and true to his principles the entire way through what we see of him. Even his betrayal of Starfleet and Cisco, that remains consistent with his principles.
And he's not deluded about that at all. He's just like, yep, that's what I did.
Yep.
Like, you know what? This show did so well is and sort of at the beginning of Voyager, because they also tied into it, but the Maquis. But it really showed the conflict that a lot of the Starfleet officers had with the policy of the Federation and Starfleet at this point. And but more than that, it showed the conviction that they would take and actually do something about it. They would throw
their to the many, man, kind of pisses off the few every now and then, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they would throw away careers. They would, he was a lieutenant commander, wasn't he?
I think lieutenant commander or commander, one of the two. Yeah.
So he was on his way up, and he threw that away for this cause. And you got to give people credit when they do this. And now, I guess what the question is here is like, when do you just, this is the state, and I'm going to follow the rules. But there seems, they're going to follow. They're going to focus on the stories that we want to see, and this is them. Get it? But it seems like, man, Cisco had his hands full with all this crap going on. Then he's got his own people, switching sides, and man, like I wouldn't want to be Cisco. Yeah. No wonder he get disenfranchised and just blew the shit up and people.
I mean, it is one of the beautiful things that Deep Space Nine does that way, is it makes everything more complex.
Yeah.
Cisco isn't just a kind of, he's not Picard. He's not this sort of impossibly upright guy who can do that because he's on the Enterprise in certain ways, right?
No, Cisco's more like Ahab.
Say more about that for a second. That's interesting.
Well, Picard's not the kind of guy to drop whatever the hell was on the Enterprise's schedule and go on a revenge mission, whereas like Cisco would do that every week if he felt like it. Like,
I think that
he's like, no, I'm taking Eddington down, actually. But sir,
I think Cisco.
I'm going to go after Eddington. Thank you.
After the Battle of World 359, Cisco changed. Like, I think that Cisco was probably this idealistic Starfleet officer, just like everybody else. And then he lost his wife, and it really changed him. And so to put him on this station was probably the right move, because he's that kind of guy. He can handle this. Because
and not just his wife either. Like as you see with like oh God, what in Picard, what's his name? The guy who hates Picard.
Oh
Because-
yes,
yeah.
Captain Grumpy Pants.
yes,
Yes, Captain Grubby
Yes.
Pants.
Grumpy Grumpy
I
Pants.
believe I can't remember his name right now. It's Todd Stashwick's character, but
Yeah.
they lost everyone they knew. Like everyone in that battle lost pretty much everyone they knew because all the ships got destroyed. So it wasn't just like his wife. He probably lost everybody. Like
I think that I've seen something like 11,000 Starfleet personnel
yeah,
get lost in that battle, over 39 starships or something.
yeah.
Uh,
Sorry to
It's crazy.
interrupt.
but you're right, like it does profoundly change it.
So, I mean, he is a different person than Picard. I mean, Picard, sure, he's got some trauma he deals with. Like, it makes me even think more is like, I like the episode after World 359. What is that? Family, I think it was called.
Yeah, family.
Yeah, family.
When Picard goes home.
Mhm.
However,
I love that episode. It makes me cry every time.
it's a great episode, but they didn't do enough of the trauma that would have been caused. But like you said, 11,000 Starfleet officer or people died.
Mhm.
Like all the ships.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them would have got away on escape pods, but like not every.
Yeah, I think there's only one ship that limps away from that battle not destroyed. And I think it might be because it's an Oberth class. And the Borg were like, well, that's obviously not an issue. Just
No, the
ignore it.
Enterprise wasn't there. Never mind. I'm thinking of First Contact.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the Battle of Earth. When it shows.
So
Yeah.
when they touch on this that they did in Deep Space Nine and they did it in Picard, I think it's great when they do that. Like there's got to be some, there's some definite hurt and animosity that these people feel.
Mhm.
So I'm still looking up that captain's name.
But like, what does Eddington supposed to do? Because he's like, you're not. Some people just chose to be Maquis, but he actually lived in those territories, so he was actually like naturally Maquis. You know what I mean? He was just trying to defend his wife and his tomatoes, which were hard to grow. It's very cold there, like Nova Scotia. It's hard to grow tomatoes. So, we get her done. Mine are looking good. Anyway, so the tomatoes. No, seriously though. But no, he was. But like get the point. He's defending his family and his friends, and like he
And
was
his
already
tomato.
in Starfleet, but he also was living in those territories, not in Canada anymore. Where he's of course from. We're very proud.
He's from out west, isn't he?
He doesn't say.
Oh, I thought he said he was from somewhere.
Captain
No.
Liam Shaw is the guy's name.
That's
Shaw,
it, Captain
of course,
Shaw.
Shaw. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, Grumpy Pants. Yeah. So that's my thing about Eddington too, where he's just defending. Like he didn't join the Maquis to be a rebel, like like Tom Paris or whatever. Like, he was.
No, I mean he has real like material commitments there, and he ends up developing a pretty strong ideological commitment to the Maquis as well, right? Which is actually what sustains him, I think, through that time of being essentially a double agent inside Star.
Oh, once it clicks in his head that he's living a sort of Les Miserables thing, then it's like he's all in. Then.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's an interesting thing, like the way, because we were talking in the first question there about how about how that literary comparison, which is made in both films, affects the characters. And again, these are characters. This is a guy who's very self-consciously living into this literary comparison that he's kind of discovered in his own life, and forces it onto Sisko at every available opportunity.
Yeah, when you start calling your other Starfleet officers Javert, maybe you're just a bit weird. But anyway.
You know what? I can just see, like, I don't know that reference. I'd have to go look that up. I'll be right back.
He's like, what? Javert? What? No, Sisko.
Javert? You mean the J? Yeah.
I don't think he did though. Like, his later in the episode, like he's reading it. He's like reading Les Miserables. He's just like, oh, okay, now I get it.
I get it now.
Now
yeah.
Then he understands Eddington completely, and that's why he's able to defeat him essentially because of Les Miserables.
I like how in Deep Space Nine they never really they never made you feel like, I mean, you probably had your own feelings about these guys, but these Maquis, were you a sympathizer or not? Like, I don't, Dave, Davin, were you like?
Oh,
I think I parse it a little bit like what I was saying already. It's just like, do I feel like bad if somebody's like kind of detached from the cause and just kind of, I mean, I guess you could say that's helping or whatever, but it's hard to like wash over any illegalities they may do in pursuit of that. Whereas somebody who's like, again, fighting for their family and like their home and whatnot, it's like,
well, you know,
to fault them is quickly and as easily.
yeah. That's to me where it ends up landing, right? Because like the first episode, or one of the first episodes we ever meet the Maquis in, is Wesley and the Traveler, right?
Oh yeah.
Or would it be an early one? And there they both
Gully Vex in that one.
I mean, Star Trek's vexed relationships with like First Nations narratives, but they both combine this sort of question of people who have moved to this place to find a kind of new place where they can practice their culture and and that sort of thing, who are now going to get uprooted again. But even independent of the cultural makeup of the planet, that can be a dozen worlds in that area, right? Which would have lots of different culture.
Like as far as they know, like they're just like
they're not displacing anybody else in that sense, no. But you'd have credit. I mean, to me, I guess my empathy falls with the people who are sitting in that border zone. I think I feel bad for the Cardassians who are stranded in the Federation side. I think I feel
afterwards. You mean?
Or in the settlement, right? Because part of this
like
comes out because of the settlement of the Cardassian border wars, right?
Oh, right, yeah,
yeah. Where
then there's
some of these worlds
after that, where they like force people to move again.
Yes,
yes. Or they're like, or we wash our hands of you, is what they say.
Right.
Like,
so like,
but like if the Cardassians just decide they want to kill you all, like we're just gonna let them.
Yeah, right. It's not a proud moment for Federation politics, that's for damn sure. Because you really see like where you reach the hard edge of Federation tolerance,
right?
Or you're now more trouble than you're worth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And there is, on the other side, there is an interesting thing, which it does remind me of, which is, one of these foundational principles of certain kinds of polities is the right to secede.
Right. I was about to bring that up too.
In that case, perhaps what we experience out on that edge there as a fractious parting, somebody from the Federation Council on Earth is going to look at that and say, well, they have every right to secede if they want to. They don't. We can't force them to be members.
There are ways you have to go about that, though, right?
Mm-hmm,
it's like the Maquis keeps saying we're not Federation citizens. And the Federation keeps saying, yeah. It's just like, but you know what it reminds me of? And like this does not look good against the Maquis. It looks like those silly like sovereign citizen fellas who think they can get arrested and be like, I'm a sovereign citizen, and the judge is always just like,
right,
yeah, you're not though. Like,
sure, and like I'll claim some principle of a kind of apparent natural justice that is going to trump the actual established law of this place. Yeah, and right, and I think there's. Again, it's one of those things Deep Space Nine does very well, is it builds us a tragedy, right? And the classic definition of tragedy is the good encounters the good and the good loses somewhere along the line.
There's no,
right?
You sympathize with both sides.
Absolutely. They both got their own substantive good. Even the Cardassians in this conflict have their weird substantive good.
Well, yeah, the Cardassians and the Federation are both in this like really difficult political territorial thing they have to work out, so like that's hard.
Right. It's never really gonna go away. They're just gonna have to keep working at it.
And to that point, though, like, you can be the negotiator, the one who sent in Cisco in this case, but you're never going to appease everybody. You're going to have the extremists on one side who are going to just do whatever it takes, to win. And this is what he's got to deal with.
Sure.
So again,
yeah.
It's like what I said earlier. It's just like the needs of the many, but it pisses off the few sometimes. And how much weight do we give the few if we believe in the needs of the many?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, when did the needs of the many just become a kind of authoritarian majority rule?
Yeah.
But what I kind of like about this is that, with I mean, we've talked Deep Space Nine to our, a lot in this, but is how Cisco, becomes less and less idealistic as this show goes on. And
how do you not? How do you not?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wears you down.
But
absolutely. But as he says so poignantly, I can live with it.
Now, do you think
and he does, right? He finds a way.
That this is a situation where the few deserves more consideration?
I think the few always deserve more consideration, no matter what. But I don't.
Well,
if you want to get to the end goal, it doesn't work that way.
And there may also sometimes be questions that simply don't have a solution that everyone can agree on as good.
You're right. The Federation could side with the Maquis, and that would piss the Cardassians off. The Federation and the Cardassians could come to some sort of neutral zone, and that would piss the Maquis off. And of course, there's no Maquis working with the Cardassians, so it's like there is no way to please everybody here.
Yeah. Although it makes me curious about whether there was a Cardassian version of the Maquis running as well.
There was. They talked about them.
Do they?
Yeah.
Ooh, I missed that. That's cool.
Well, yeah, like you were saying, you were talking about the Cardassians trapped on the other side and stuff. Yeah, there was like similar stuff going on that gets mentioned.
Yeah,
like Gully Beck talks to Cisco and Cal Hudson about how they both have these factions that are just fighting each other that neither of them have control of.
Right.
So there is like a Cardassian Maquis.
Yeah, I suppose.
Not controlling.
And the live question there is, are these being used as political proxies?
Could be
in either side.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm sure there's a bit of that going on, but
not
with our boy Eddington. He's no political proxy for anyone. So I don't know. Where do you guys come down on this one?
I kind of feel like about him like I do the Maquis. Is like I'm sympathetic to both sides. Like I think he's a pain in the ass to Cisco and the Federation and Starfleet. However, he followed his heart. Like he did what he thought was right. And you can't. If you believe in something so much and you believe that what you're currently doing is wrong, you gotta do that.
Yeah, I think that's where his heroism consists for me as well. That ultimately, whether I agree with everything he did or not, he was a man of like real principle who would go right to the wall for it. For what he believed in, and ultimately did.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say. I'm gonna say that his death unmuddies it enough for me to say he.
Interesting.
He at least went out like one. So
murder for the cause.
It's already murky whether he was or not. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, he ended strong. He finished strong. It's not how you start; it's how you finish, right? Yeah.
You remind me of that great Colossus speech from the first Daredevil. There are 4 or 5 moments.
4 or 5 moments? Yeah, from Deadpool. Yeah.
Yeah.
What if 5 moments is all you need to be a hero? Yeah, oh, it's good stuff, man. That was a good speech. All right, let's fire another probe off, Adam. Or as Picard would say,
Fire.
Let's launch a probe into it.
Okay, so guys, I'm not leaving this one without a next gen question. So,
Here we go.
was firing Denise Crosby after season 1 the right move?
I've been thinking about this one a little bit just before the show. It was still in my brain a little bit.
Now, we should preface this by saying is that she wasn't actually fired. She asked to leave.
Yeah, she was just not. She just wasn't renewed, right?
But at the same time, they were giving her every reason to want to leave.
Yes, and they were pushing her.
Yeah, by giving her nothing to work with after saying it was going to be not that.
Yeah, it's almost like that series had too many stars in the beginning. And
they called it an ensemble. They told everyone it was an ensemble, and for a while there, it wasn't really.
Yeah.
And never really got there for a lot of it. Like, again, they never really gave the female characters anything to work with. It was mostly the Picard and Data show. And for a while there, Worf and Riker.
But going back to season 1.
Geordi never got much to work with either, unfortunately.
Yeah. And she was getting, very little work that first year, right? Even I don't think Deanna had too much that first
year. The joke
year.
was like most of her scenes are like her from the waist down. It's just her legs behind Picard.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And one of the challenges to me too is that like when she does get dialogue or when she does get something to talk about, they sort of make her character so come from this planet that's so awful that I don't know, it's like every time they just try and shove the word rape gang into her dialogue as many
she says
times
it a few times.
It's crazy.
I know.
Like I would have found that really weird and uncomfortable. Like, I'm the rape gang character. Oh,
but like saying that once and now
my gosh,
this character that has like a crazy backstory and has like that's interesting. Like,
but they didn't even touch it until whatever season 4 or 4.
Yeah. They're just sort of it's this thing that's there, but they don't really do a lot with.
Just that episode with your sister.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Ashariar,
was that her name? Ashariar or something?
Ashariar, yeah. Like the thing with that storyline though is like even like when they took a major character in any show in those days, and it didn't happen regularly till maybe Walking Dead. I don't know. When they started eliminating major characters, that was pretty surprising back then.
Sure.
And it was like back in those days. You remember Who Shot JR? Like it was a dream, and they said you could bring them back. Like it was always let's find a way to bring them back somehow. And they did, by the way, figure a way to bring back Denise.
They brought back JR.
Oh, and we certainly would never have had Commander Stila without this season 1 exit.
No, or yesterday's Enterprise.
Enterprise. Like the fact that she was willing to come back and do that one, which set off Sela, was great.
Yeah.
Yeah. She ended up having a fascinating Star Trek career, oddly enough.
So here's where my brain was going with this earlier. For one, I thought it was a bit of a tragedy because, she's a good actress. Everyone was clunky in the first season of that show. Even Picard, he was too grumpy. But, fine acting. But, everyone else was kind of clunky in that first season. But she was this character that had, like you said, they definitely pushed the rape gang thing too much. But, she was this interesting backstory in that she was from this dystopian planet, not from a beautiful Federation world like everybody else on the ship, So they could have done some interesting stuff there. But I think what we just said, we that would have been what we gained. We would have got this interesting, perhaps, character development and stuff, just good character stuff with her. But then we would have lost yesterday's Enterprise, Sayla, and Worf would have never took prominence in the show, which would have been the biggest loss, I think. If like leaving Denise Crosby in means we don't get what Worf became, and then don't get Worf in Deep Space Nine or whatever, if like that's a chain of events that would have happened, then absolutely I would say it's the right move, because I think Worf has just been so important to Star Trek and a favorite character of mine, of course.
Yeah. Tomorrow's Deep Space Nine, not yesterday's Enterprise. Jeepers! Wow. Yeah.
Tomorrow's Deep Space Nine, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm going down a rabbit hole reading about Roddenberry's Control.
Mm-hmm.
And
you're all about slagging old Gene tonight, aren't you, Adam?
No, I'm not. It's what I'm reading. It's just how. But he had some rules that really, I think, constricted the writers and what they could and couldn't do.
Yeah, they were bad.
And here's some of them. There's no interpersonal.
No characters could argue. Yeah.
Yeah, no interpersonal conflict between Starfleet officers. No romantic entanglements among major characters. What
is this? Not the man who wrote the original series to his?
The man who had relationships with major characters.
Yes, exactly.
Wow. No
He's
character.
Like, do as I say, not as I do.
No character flaw.
Yeah, no character flaws or implied weaknesses, and no storyline that resembled contemporary politics.
That was no wonder season 1 was so bad.
And no militaristic tones.
But you know what we can do in an episode? Be racist as shit.
Code of honor.
That we can do.
Still America,
no
baby.
interpersonal conflict, but just fill it with the racism. And can we get back to the 3-breasted betazoids? Like, has that not happened yet? Come on now. Like, Gene's priorities were way off by that point.
It's like, what? They'll let me do belly buttons? All right.
Yeah. Can we get back to the 3 belly button betazoids?
So in this time,
I'm a genius.
Yeah, it's too bad. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I think I think that you're right. I mean, listen, you talk about somebody with principle. I'm not getting the storylines I want. I was promised more.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go. See ya. You know,
for her, it was 100% the right move. They were never going to give her anything. Like, it's very clear, like, one season in. And it was very clear by the end of the series that the other female characters didn't get the play that the male characters did. She made the right call.
Yeah, I mean,
certainly for her own career, I think it's probably, a good move. Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, like, her first big movie out of Star Trek was Pet Sematary. And
she didn't take off big or anything,
but IMDb, it says actress Pet Sematary. That's her big role. Like, whoa. So,
but then she can still like do all the cons and make all the same con money they can.
Yes, she can.
Still got to go do the movies and stuff that she wanted to do.
And she's done a ton of TV. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead. She was in Deep Impact movie. I didn't know that.
She had a TV show of her own for a while. It was a cop show.
Oh, really?
She was the star. So, you know, she had her career and she can still do the cons and everything afterwards. She just doesn't get to do didn't get to do all the movies with them and everything. But
yeah, she did 3 episodes of Walking Dead, 15 episodes of Ray Donovan, 9 episodes on Suits, and then she's finished most recently on that's not true. I was going to say General Hospital.
Oh,
General Hospital.
Still going.
Anyway, I think to your point, Davin, though, she was a character that everybody is aware of. She was written off too soon, in my opinion. I think they could have somehow sent her to Starfleet to do security or something. But at that point, I remember
not kill her off by a mud monster. You mean just like bring her back more often, have her around.
remember watching that episode, and I don't know if Dave you remember, but Gavin, you're pretty young. But is just like, this was a shock when they wrote off a major character.
I haven't got that in a while. Thank you.
Yeah, it was tremendous shock. I remember thinking about it as a teenager, sort of watching it through again, like in reruns and things. That the funeral scene they do there is kind of beautiful.
It is. It's the
It's
nicest
really
one they ever did.
lovely.
I love that one.
And it's probably the best part of the episode in some ways.
100%.
But at the same time, I really did feel like this is the episode's virtue is that there's absolutely no necessity. You know, Armis just kills her to kill her, right?
Yeah.
Because he doesn't care about any of it.
You know, and that in itself though is very important, because how many times do you ever hear over the years that she was given a crappy death? And but I imagine in my mind most of the deaths in Starfleet, you know, in the red shirts and all that stuff that happened were all crappy deaths. They just happened.
Yep.
You know, this is the gig.
I got melted by a Horta in the tunnel. You know, exactly. And in that sense, like, she goes out in a really interesting way. I also was wondering, as I was rewatching it, this is clearly somebody's way of saying, and no, you're not coming back. Yar doesn't get a rerun. You know?
Well, at that time too, they weren't even thinking that far ahead, I don't think.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. But they were certainly thinking that this is the end of the line for you, Denise.
That's the thing, that she did get a rerun.
Fascinatingly enough, right?
But that also speaks to the power of the fan base, is that bring her back for something, and they did that brilliantly. Yesterday's Enterprise for me is one of the top 5. Like, I love that.
It's an incredible episode. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
And then the surprise when Sela walked into that room, and that later up, like, that was great.
Oh, there are some moments in your life when you're yelling at your TV, and that was one of them. Oh man, yeah. Oh, the first time I ever saw that episode, I had goosebumps.
Yeah,
it was incredible. Yeah.
And the funny thing is like, you know, at this point, we all were watching the reruns as the show was going on, so you'd seen her 10 times by now, and you know, all her episodes 10 times by now, but probably more. And then she comes back as Sela. Like, that was like, I think I was in somebody's basement watching that episode with that. It was like, holy crap. What?
Everything was
yeah.
And it was a cliffhanger, right? They bring her at the end of the episode, and then she turns, you hear her voice, and then you go, and then she turns around and you see her face, and go, wow, that was awesome.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if that was a mid-season break or whatever.
I think it was a mid-season break, and they did those so well on Next Gen. Like,
and they make her so awful. Like, she turns on her mother and sides with her Romulan father. It's just like, man, you suck, Sela.
Oh yeah, she's a rough character. She's so committed to her Romulan side.
Yeah, when she's describing it as like, my mother was going to take me away from my father, who loved us and was going to take care of me.
She was so ungrateful.
Yes.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. She definitely drank every Kool-Aid there she could find.
Yeah. Even grew the hair weird.
Yeah.
Like, no one's buying that your blonde hair is coming in that way.
I bought it.
You bought that?
It was so good. Like that was like the drama. You know, we didn't watch like Young and the Restless in General Hospital. We watched freaking Star Trek and got our drama from that.
It's true.
It's true. That's an unimpeachable point.
That and X-Men cartoons for me.
Yeah.
So I think for me, it sounds like firing Denise Crosby or Denise Crosby's departure was the right move for everybody, even if
maybe everybody. Yeah.
Even if it may not have happened entirely in ideal ways.
No. And you know what? I remember going to the theater to see Pet Cemetery too, and when she showed up in that, I was like, "Oh, Tasha is in Pet Cemetery." And then it's almost like when Brent Spiner was in what's the movie? Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Like,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
He's here. Like, this is great. You know, before the internet, we couldn't find this stuff out before, right? So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
good.
Well,
Or turns on Night Court.
I think we agree on that one. Oh yeah,
I think so.
That was before TNG though.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for tonight, fellas.
I think we're there.
Yeah.
Time well spent, gentlemen. Thank you.
Time well spent, indeed.
As always. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, and wherever you get your podcasts. Contact us at locutorsoftrek@gmail.com. We are a proud part of the Swear to Pod network. And I guess there's only one thing left to say.
In transmission.